What's up guys, Blade Master here, back with some more Total War Rome 2 online action. This is a friendly match that I fought against Diplomat, fellow clan member. He is Memkin, for those of you who might not recognize the name. But you must recognize the legend that is behind the name, that is Memchan, aka M.E. McCann. That's not the right way to pronounce it, don't ever pronounce it that way, you have to pronounce it Memchan. So, this is a Barbarian on Barbarian engagement. I have taken Lusitani in this matchup, and Diplomat has taken Boii. And this is quite an interesting battle, I'd say. And what I'm going to do for this battle is I'm going to do something a bit different. And this is something that I kind of want to, do with the rest of my, at least when I cast like Barbarian on Barbarian engagements. I'm going to keep the camera position pretty high, and I'm not going to move it too much. I'm going to move it as little as possible. And the reason I want to do that is because there are some finer nuances in micro which are kind of left unnoticed by many people when these specific types of matches happen. When you have very heavy sword armies clashing up against each other, there are a few like half a second moves or like a couple of second moves in micro which actually really influence the match a whole lot. And it's pretty difficult to showcase that or even catch that in a video when you're not keeping your camera up high so that you can capture everything as much as possible. So with that said, I'm going to try and keep the camera as static, and it's not going to be any action shots or like any close-up shots. So with that in mind, enjoy this video and enjoy the tactics. So I've taken Lusitani. I've taken a couple of Lusitani nobles whom I've initially kept in the center. I've also brought a total of 5 veteran shield warriors. I've brought a total of 3 Iberian swordsmen, 2 on my left, 1 on my right, a couple of Scutari spearmen, 1 on each side, total of 4 Scutari cavalry, and a couple of Iberian cavalry for 500 talents. The pretty expensive low-tier cavalry who are incredibly just like a glass cannon, exactly like a glass cannon, but except that they can't really do too much damage on the other hand. So my opponent, Diplomat, has brought 2 Celtic bowmen. He's brought 1 Oathsworn general. He's brought a total of 5 sword followers. No, he's brought 6 sword followers, 3 on either side. He's brought a total of 3 Levy freemen, if I recall correctly. He's brought a couple of Celtic warriors, I believe. He's not brought any sword followers. And he's brought a total of 3 Celtic warriors. He's brought a total of 5 heavy horse, and that's going to make up his lineup. So my Barbarian line, what I did was I'm going to move my Lusitani nobles to the side for 2 reasons. Because he has his Celtic bowmen in the center, so that means that they won't be able to reach my Lusitani nobles. And if he kills off my Lusitani noble general with his Celtic bows, that's going to be terrible for me. And second is because I wanted to overpower his sides, and that's because I have these Iberian cavalry over here. What I'm going to do with the Iberian cavalry is I'm going to charge in. Ideally, what I do is I would charge into one of these sword followers unit and then immediately charge with my Lusitani nobles. Of course, Lusitani are one of the few factions that actually have a better charge bonus than Boii infantry, so they are very, very aggressive and very specialized in an infantry killing role. You can see these Lusitani nobles have a 32 charge bonus. Compare that to 30. Whoa, Oathsworn have 35? No way. But sword followers have 27, whereas veteran shield warriors have 30. So, and on top of that, they have a better melee attack and pretty similar weapon damage as well. So my Iberian cavalry are going to charge into his sword followers here, and I'm immediately going to come in with a 1-2 punch. Going to charge in with my veteran shield warriors, and that's the same thing that's going to happen over here, except I've timed this a lot better. So let's try and keep. So this is going to be this engagement and this engagement. So I'm going to keep a note on these 2 engagements and try and show you if using the Iberian cavalry in this way was actually a good idea. Because what it's going to do is it's going to do 2 things. It's going to rob him of his very powerful charge. It's actually going to deplete some of his men's HP because I got a clean charge onto them. And third, it's going to enhance the effects of my veteran shield warriors' charge because his units will now have... Oh wow, Ancient is playing. Wow, okay. I didn't know is he out of the Sith clan? Is he decided? Okay, I don't know. Anyways, so it's going to magnify my charge because his veteran shield or his sword followers will be low in HP now. So my Iberian cav over here are destroyed. They haven't gotten a single kill. But meanwhile, my veteran shield warriors, they have got a proper charge off onto this combination of heavy horse and sword followers, and that blob is going to look pretty delicious to them and their high melee attack. His Celtic bowmen really haven't played any role into the game right now. My Lusitani nobles have charged into his sword followers. We can guess how well that's going to go out for those sword followers. Meanwhile, his his heavy horse are going to try and get a charge onto my Scutari cav. This is going to be pretty important. The second pretty decisive engagement, what I'm going to do is I'm going to charge in with 1 Scutari cav, pull back with the other. It's going to be the same thing here. That's why I've managed to get an extra Scutari Cav into his rear very, very quickly. Meanwhile, my Lusitani Noble will mop up these sword followers. My veteran shield warriors will die over here, so that's not going to be good for me. That's a hole punch through my line. But my veteran shield warriors, as for the rest of the engagements, will win. You can see these veteran shield warriors have got 30 kills by taking one single casualty. Meanwhile, these veteran shield warriors who didn't get that Iberian Cav's help have got, how are they faring? They've lost 30 men, they've killed 30 men. These ones have killed 31 men and have lost one single unit. So it's definitely quite effective, but very risky, because you're spending an extra 500 talents and you're just basically making that go to waste. I don't think this using the Iberian Cav is, I mean, just because the Iberian Cav is just not a very cost effective unit, I don't think it's a very good idea. Maybe something like this is what I really wanted to try out with Macedon. I wanted to use Sarissa Cav, because Sarissa Cav actually sound like they'd be perfect for that purpose. But his heavy horse is going to come in for a charge on my general, but my Scutari Cav, I've already caught them. So while they charge in, that blob is going to be perfect for my Scutari Cav to help out. I'm also going to bring my Scutari infantry. Meanwhile, my Scutari Cav over here is going to charge straight through his Levy Freeman, then will have complete access to his Celtic Bowman. My Scutari Cav here are obviously going to die, but they're going to take a while, and I've also got that Scutari Spearman here, which is going to help out with cavalry counter tactics. They'll do brilliantly. My Iberian Swordsman will lose out to his Celtic Warriors. Again, I wasn't able to use their javelins, which is ideally the best way to use Iberian Swordsmen. Just let them lose as many javelins on high value targets as possible. So instead of charging into his Celtic Bowman, what I did was instead rear charge his heavy horse, and of course, by the way, I've got a strategic general with my Lusitani Noble. I've already used Headhunt, and I should pop second wind sooner rather than later. My Lusitani Noble over here has destroyed that sword follower, just taking like 15-14 casualties. Meanwhile, my veteran shield warriors have just destroyed the sword followers, 70 kills and taken only like 21 casualties. Meanwhile, my Scutari Cav, extra Scutari Cav that I pulled behind, has now got this very crucial role of holding out his heavy horse. Of course, with Lusitani getting rear charged by any sort of cav is going to be a death sentence. So having that extra cavalry in this, and then using this one Scutari Cav to just hold off as many of his cav as much as possible, was a pretty crucial move, and it might just be able to win me the match. So here, this veteran shield warrior has got a very decisive advantage. Just destroyed that sword follower. And I had that extra Iberian Cav, which is, and these light Cav are just so quick, and I managed to pull, just get that, exploit that gap, and then destroy this, try and kill off his Celtic Bowman that way. And again, I've got extra units here, so I'm going to use the extra unit of Scutari Cav to get a rear charge on his Oathsworn. My general is now fresh. I've used second wind on him, and I can ready up for a second headhunt. And I don't think that's really going to matter. He's already put his sword followers onto shield wall, I believe, yes. And so they're going to take a bit of time before they kill off my gen. But you can see what the effect of even that pretty depleted heavy horse rear charge did. My Lusitani Noble here has lost quite a few men. My veteran shield warriors, though, have destroyed his sword followers. Again, one of the few units that are actually better in an offensive capability than sword followers. On a flat map like Nemedosena, they will destroy sword followers because they have that extra charge bonus, and on top of that, they've got such good melee stats. So my Lusitani Nobles here are going to charge into his Oathsworn. These Oathsworn have gotten depleted pretty massively by a unit that costs a whole 500 talents less than them. Of course, they did get rear charged by that Scutari Cav as well, who've got 61 kills, not a lot, but it's the morale penalty that really counts. I'm going to pull away with my Scutari Cav and then charge into his Celtic Bowmen, who've actually done quite a bit of damage. 73 kills with a single experience chevron. They've killed off a lot of some of my veteran shield warriors, I would hazard. Meanwhile, he's destroyed my left flank, and so he's going to try and crumble onto my main line. The only difference is I have managed to destroy his right flank a lot faster, so his reinforcements are much slower, and he's going to charge in with his heavy horse. I countercharge with my Lusitani Noble, who've got 123 kills. Even though I countercharged, they're still going to take quite a few casualties, and I'm going to charge in with my Scutari Cav and then pull away against his Oathsworn, who are very tired now. His general is dead, so that's a huge swing in my favor, and already the balance bar is kind of showing the superiority to the Lusitani. His Celtic warriors are going to come in. They've actually done a brilliant job. I think they mopped up that Scutari Spearman infantry, or Scutari Spearman, and that Iberian Swordsman as well. But now they're going to be faced up against the most deadly unit in melee, and they're going to die very, very quickly. 152, almost a double experience chevron. My Lusitani Nobles here with 83 men left, killing off the rest of his heavy horse, I believe. He's got this extra unit of heavy horse that's actually done pretty well, but it's got too few men. And now that his generals died, he has thrown in the towel, and it's a costly victory to me. Well played to Diplomat, and I hope you guys saw what the effect of that 1-2 punch is. The other unit of Lusitani Noble didn't really do, or the other unit of Veteran Shield Warriors didn't do as well as I would have expected, but I think that's more because his units blobbed up, which made the other Veteran Shield Warriors not get a very good charge off. I believe this Veteran Shield Warrior was the one that got slaughtered by his Oath Sword. That's what I would hazard. But the Iberian Cav, which had 22 kills, just let my Veteran Shield Warriors just completely slaughter that Sword Follower unit. In general, his Sword Followers didn't do much, but I think this is the Sword Follower that got like only 29 kills and then died to my Veteran Shield Warriors. So with a very aggressive, faction like Lusitani, bringing some extra cav just to get some frontal charges in, and these very, very quick Iberian cav can actually be a pretty good cav for that purpose, is a risk. It is definitely a big risk, but if you can use it right, then it can easily just swing you or swing the match in your favor. And as we know, these Barbarian on Barbarian engagements, as much as they depend on your build, they also depend a lot on those little moments of micro that swing the game, which swings a very balanced game in your favor. My Iberian Swordsmen didn't do great. Didn't really need them to do great. My Lusitani Nobles, I think moving them onto the flanks and making them engage Sword Followers was a good move, and ensured that his otherwise pretty strong mid-tier infantry didn't really do too much. His his Oath Sword did a lot of damage. His Celtic Bowmen did pretty decently. Of course, against a faction like Lusitani, they could have actually done a bit better. But I have to thank my extra unit of Scutari Cav that moved around his rear and then just caused a constant threat to his Celtic Bowmen for their reduced effectiveness. His Celtic Warriors also did pretty well. Levy Freeman didn't really make much of an impact in this game. Anyways, guys, that's the end of this battle. Hope you enjoyed it and stay tuned for more. Peace.